Good morning. We are getting ready to start lesson 30. And again, this is going to be a one-day lesson. And you do need to watch the Eureka video first before you attempt to do any of the problems, although you might be able to do this one, the application problem with Eli, with Eli, and the money that he spends for a pencil and a notebook. Then you are going to, after you watch the video, you are going to complete problems 1 and 2. There's 2 down there. And then you are going to complete set 3, which is an A, B, C, D problem. And they are asking for 2 different ways to solve each of those problems. So you will need to divide your paper in half so that you can show 2 different ways to solve both of those problems, according to what we learned yesterday and again today. And then you will need to do your exit ticket to send to your teacher. Kevin solved 166 plus 25 using totals below. This is him right here. And you need to show this same problem another way. And then you're going to explain how Kevin's work and your work are similar. Okay, and I would like you on this one to use, new groups below, which is what we've been practicing, new groups below. That is what I would like you to show us on the second problem is totals below and new groups below. Those are the 2 I would like you to use, and then you're going to talk about how those 2 problems are similar, and then send that to your teacher. Okay, you got lots of room for writing, and there you go. So you're going to pause the video and go and watch the Eureka video and then solve these problems. Okay, then I'll come back and we can go over them together. See you in a few minutes. Are you back? All right, here we go. So Eli spent 87 cents for a new notebook, and he spent 38 cents for a pencil. How much money did Eli spend in all? Well, I see that I have 2 parts here, so I'm going to set my bar model up with 2 parts. I'm going to divide this in 2 parts. 87 cents, I'm going to use the cent sign, was for the notebook. I hope you noticed that this was 2 parts. And 38 cents was for the pencil. So I have a part and a part, and my unknown is the whole, which is spent in all. That's what I'm trying to find out, is how much money did he spend in all. All right, I am going to use one of the new methods that we just talked about yesterday. Well, actually, it's one that we've done before. I'm going to set 87 cents and 38 cents up. 87 cents and 38 cents in a vertical model. And I am going to use new totals below to do this problem. And so I know that 7 ones and 8 ones is 15 ones. 15 ones is the same as 5 ones. I composed a 10, and I'm going to take that 15 or that 10, 110, and put it into the tens column. So I know that 7 ones plus 7 ones plus 8 ones is 15 ones. I put my ones down here. I composed a 10 and put it in my tens column. Now I'm going to add 8 tens and 3 tens plus 1 more 10. 8 tens and 3 tens is 11 tens plus 1 more is 12 tens, and 12 tens is 12 tens with 12 tens. Well, that's like with 100 over here. So I get 2 tens plus 100. So 12, well, it could even be 12 tens as well, but I also showed it with the new group of 100s below. So all in total, I have 125 cents, or I could say that as $1.25 So Eli spent 125 cents, or $1.25. All right, there you go. Oops, sorry, didn't show that part. So using new groups below, I got 8 tens plus 3 tens was 11 tens plus one more 10 gave me 12 tens, which is the same as 12 tens, or 1/100, and being the same as 100. So whether you did it as 12 tens or you did it as 2 tens and composed a 10, either way you're still getting 125. I did not explain that very well, so that's why I went back and talked about it again. All right, let's go ahead and come over to the next part. We have Keith and Linda and Keith, who both added 127 plus 59 differently, and we need to explain why Linda's work and Keith's work are both correct. So we are looking at first Linda's, and she has used totals below. Totals below is her method. You can see that she has added her 7 tens, or 7 ones and 9 ones is 16 ones. Then she's added her tens, 2 tens, which is 20, plus 5 tens, which is 50. So 20 plus 50 is 70, or 7 tens, which is 70. I'm not adding anything to my hundreds, so I'm getting 100. Then I'm adding 6 plus 0 is 6 ones. 1 10 plus 7 tens is 8 tens, and 1 100 plus 0 100s is 1 100. So this was totals below, adding each individual place value. She's added the ones, she's added the tens, and she's added the hundreds. Okay, now let's come over and take a look at Keith's work. So Keith's work did new totals below. New totals below. Sorry, I meant new groups below. Got to change that. These are new words for me, so I have to think about it. New or totals below, new groups below. So when he did his, he started with his ones. He said 7 ones plus 9 ones is 16 ones. So if you look here, you can see ones here. He's got 6 ones. And he's composed a new 10, which is coming over into his tens, but you can also see his 16 ones right here, which we talked about before. So 16 ones, or composing a 10. So now I'm going to be adding 2 tens plus 5 10 plus 1 10, which gives me 8 tens, or 80, and 1 100 plus 0 100s gives me 1 100. So then you need to give an explanation about how these two problems are similar. So I'm going to show you my thinking on this, and your thinking might be a little bit different, but basically both problems come up with the same sum, which is 186. Linda's method was totals below. She added the ones first, then she added the tens, and then she added the hundreds. Then she added all of those 3 numbers together to get 186. Keith used new groups below, and he showed 16 ones as 1 10 and 6 ones, and then he added 2 tens and 5 tens and 1 10 to get 8 tens, and then he added 100 to end up with 186. All right, so that's how I explained that, and hopefully your explanation was somewhat similar. All right, so now we have on problem number 2, we have Jake, who is using new groups below. I'm just going to circle that. So he's using new groups below to solve 124 plus 69, and let's take a look at how we did that. 4 ones plus 9 ones is 13 ones. So he wrote 13 ones as 3 ones and composed a 10, and he put those 10s down below the 10s that already existed. So you can see that we technically really do have 13 ones. We're just breaking it apart into 3 ones and 1 10. Then he added 2 tens and 6 tens and 1 10, which gave him a total of 9 tens, and then he added 1 100 to 0 100s and got 193. So now I am going to use totals below to solve this one. So I'm going to use totals below to solve the same problem with 124 plus 69. And I'm going to start by adding 4 ones and 9 ones is 13 ones. Being very careful to make sure that I keep my place values together. 6 tens plus 2 tens is 8 tens. 8 tens in standard form is 80. And then I have one group of 100. I'm going to add my ones, my tens, and my hundreds together to get 3 ones, 9 tens, and 1 100, and voila! They are both the same sum, but 2 different methods. Now, you're probably thinking about which one of those might be easier for you to do. I personally like this one, but you might like this one better. Or you might even like the chip model still. But for me, the chip model just takes too much time to write. I want to be able to write less, and that's probably why I like this one. But you can choose for yourself, for at least right now. Okay, then we're coming over to the next page, and you were supposed to show two different ways for each of these problems. And I have chosen to do, let's get that up a little bit closer. I'm going to do new groups below and new groups below and totals below. I'm going to start with 134 plus 48, and I'm going to do the method that I like best, which is totals below. All right, so I'm adding 4 ones and 8 ones is 12 ones. 12 ones is the same as 2 ones and a composed 10. So here's my 12 ones, or 2 ones and 1 10. And I kind of like that because you can see that 12 ones right there. Now I'm coming to my tens. 3 tens and 4 tens is 7 tens, plus 1 more 10 gives me 8 tens. And 1 100 plus 0 100 gives me 100. So there is my first method. Now I'm going to do totals below. Is that what that one is called? I keep on forgetting. New groups below. I got to remember that. New groups below. 134. This one's easy for me, even though I can't remember sometimes what it's called because it's new to me too. So I'm going to start by adding my ones first. 4 ones and 8 ones is 12 ones. So instead of writing 12 ones like this, I'm showing 12 ones as 12 ones. Then I have 3 tens and 4 tens, which is 7 tens. And in standard form, that would be 70. And then I have 100, which is not being added to any other 100. So here's my groups below, and I'm going to add my ones, my hundreds, and my ones, my tens, and my hundreds. So 2 ones, 8 tens, and 1 100. Bing, just like that. Just as easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, here we go. 83 plus 69. And I am going to start my first one with, oh my gosh, Miss Star, you keep on forgetting what to call them. Totals below. You got to get those straight. New groups below and totals below. So I'm going to start with 9 tens plus 3, no, not even tens. Let's talk about ones. 9 ones plus 3 ones. 9 ones plus 3 ones is 12 ones. So I'm putting down my ones. I've composed a 10, and those 10s need to come down below in my tens column, but I can also see that I still have 12 ones. That's what I can see. So then, now I'm going to be adding my tens. 8 tens and 6 tens is 14 tens, plus one more 10 is 15 tens. Woo, I like that because it doesn't take too much work to do. Now I'm going to do groups, new groups below with 34 plus 8, 48. Wait a minute, wrong problem. I was looking at the wrong problem. Mister, come on, you can do this. I got to do this problem. 83 plus 69. 83 plus 69. Here I go. I can do this. All right, so I'm going to add my ones first. 9 ones plus 3 ones is 12 ones. You can see them right there in this problem too. 12 ones and 12 ones. Now I'm going to add my tens. 8 tens and 6 tens is 14 tens. 14 tens in standard form would be 140. And now I'm going to add those two totals together for 2, 5 tens, and 1 100. And bingo, they are exactly the same, but I'm going to tell you what, I like this one better. It's probably because it's closer to what I learned when I was going to school, closer to the standard algorithm that probably some of your parents are very familiar with. So let's start with 46 plus 75, and I'm going to do new groups below. 6 ones and 5 ones is 11 ones, or 1 1 and 1 10. And then I am going to be adding 7 tens and 4 tens. 7 tens and 4 tens is 11 tens, plus one more 10 is 12 tens. Bing, I don't even have to think about it, because it's 12 tens and 1 1 for 121. Now I'm going to do new groups below, which is 75 plus 46. I'm going to add my ones first. 6 ones and 5 ones is 11 ones, and 4 tens plus 7 tens is 11 tens. 11 tens in standard form would be 110. Here's my 11 tens right here. In standard form, it would be 110. Now I'm going to add my ones, my tens, and my hundreds. And bingo, they are the same. Still like this kind. All right, this time I'm going to add a 63 plus 128. I'm going to put 128 on the top because it really doesn't matter when you're adding. Just for me, it's just easier, but if you did it the other way, that would be fine too. All right, so 8 ones plus 3 ones gives me 11 ones. So there's my 1 1. I've composed a 10, which is coming over to my tens, but I can see that I have those 11 ones right there, represented as 1 1 and 1 10. Then I'm coming to my tens, and I'm going to add 6 tens plus 2 tens plus 1 more 10 gives me 9 tens. And 1 more 100 added to 0 100s gives me 100. So my total for 128 plus 63 is 191. Now let's go with the other method, which is new groups below. 128, this is where I'm going to be adding each place value separately. So 3 ones, oh, I guess I switched those around. It doesn't really matter, it will still come out the same. 3 ones plus 8 ones is 11 ones. See those 11 ones right there? Bet you can. 2 tens plus 6 tens plus 2 tens is 8 tens. 8 tens in standard form would be 80. And I still have 100 that I'm going to need to add. So I'm adding my 100s. Here's my ones, here's my tens, here's my hundreds. 1, 1, 9, tens, and 1, 100. Bingo! Oh man, I don't know about you, but I thought that was kind of fun. And I don't know if I missed the chip model. I don't think I do. Because I think this one's pretty easy to do for me, because it's a lot less writing, and I like to do less writing. Okay, now over to the exit ticket. Remember, Kevin solved his with using totals below, and you are going to solve yours with new groups below. Did I do that right? Yes. Okay, so here is totals below and new groups below to solve. Alrighty. Okie dokie. So Have a great time. Show me how you're going to solve that. Make sure that you explain how Kevin's work and your work are similar, and then you're going to send that to your teacher. And in the meantime, have a great day of learning.